There's a moment in baseball that stops everything, when the crack of the bat echoes through a silent stadium and every single person inside knows, before the ball even lands, that something extraordinary just happened. On the final night of the Dodgers vs. Padres series at Petco Park, that moment arrived on the very first pitch of the game. Shohei Ohtani stepped into the batter's box, saw a 95.5 mph fastball and sent it over the center field fence before most fans had even settled into their seats. But what followed that home run had nothing to do with celebration. The Padres coach stormed out of the dugout, pointed directly at Ohtani in front of thousands of people, and accused him loudly and publicly of cheating. MLB launched a full investigation within hours. The verdict shook the baseball world. And through all of it, Ohtani still had a game to pitch. Before the first pitch was thrown, the storyline surrounding Shohei Ohtani was already one of the most fascinating in the sport. He was once again taking the field in his two-way capacity, batting in the lineup and starting on the mound for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Analysts across the league had consistently pointed out the physical and mental demands this role places on a single player. Pitching at the MLB level requires precise mechanical repetition, arm strength management, and the ability to make split-second adjustments between at-bats on the mound. Hitting at the same level demands timing, bat speed, and pitch recognition that takes years to develop. Managing both in the same game back-to-back, inning to inning, is something the modern era of baseball has almost never seen done consistently and at the highest level. Ohtani had done it before. On this night, he was about to prove he could do it again under the most intense circumstances imaginable. Ohtani stepped to the plate in the top of the first inning facing Padres starter Randy Vasquez. The ballpark was loud, the series was on the line, and every eye in Petco Park was on the matchup. Vasquez delivered the first pitch of the game, a 95.5 mph fastball. Ohtani did not hesitate. He loaded and swung with full conviction, making contact that sent the ball soaring over the center field fence for a solo home run. It was his 8th home run of the season, and it gave the Dodgers a 1-0 lead before the Padres had even recorded an out. The Dodgers' dugout erupted. Ohtani ran the bases exactly the way he always does, calm, focused, and completely composed. No celebration, no joying, just a professional completing his job. This is the kind of content we break down every single day at Baseball Daily. We are closing in on our first 500 subscribers, and we need you to be part of that milestone. Subscribe right now. Hit the like button, leave a comment, and share this video. Every action you take helps this channel grow, and there's real baseball analysis coming that you will not want to miss. Now back to Petco Park, because what happened the moment Ohtani stepped on home plate changed the entire tone of the game. As Ohtani completed his home run trot and approached home plate, Padres coach Craig Stammen burst out of the dugout. He moved directly toward Ohtani with visible aggression and in front of players, umpires, and a packed stadium, pointed repeatedly at the Dodgers superstar and shouted, "You're a cheater." The accusation did not stop there. According to a Padres source present at the game, Stammen continued, "There's no way he could read the pitch that quickly without help." His argument was built on the idea that Ohtani's immediate, zero-hesitation swing on the very first pitch of the game was too precise, too quick, to be the result of natural pitch recognition alone. He suspected some form of technological assistance had given Ohtani advanced knowledge of the pitch selection. In MLB, that kind of accusation carries devastating historical weight. The league has lived through multiple sign-stealing scandals that permanently damaged the reputations of players, coaches, and entire franchises. This was not a casual complaint whispered in a dugout. This was a public, direct allegation aimed at the most recognizable player in the sport. The field responded instantly. Dodgers players who had been lined up at home plate to greet Ohtani stopped cold when they heard Stammen's words. Freddie, Freeman, and Mookie moved immediately to Ohtani's side, positioning themselves between their teammate and the Padres coach. Padres players rushed onto the field to pull Stammen back before the situation escalated into something that could not be controlled. The umpire stepped in and physically worked to separate both sides. Both dugouts were shouting. Players from both teams pressed toward each other. The atmosphere on that field was completely unraveling. Ohtani did not walk away from it. He turned directly towards Stammen and responded with full clarity, "I don't need anything to play baseball." That single sentence, delivered in the middle of a chaotic, charged confrontation, captured exactly who Shohei Ohtani is as a competitor. Dodgers manager Dave Roberts appeared on the field with a composed but unmistakably firm message. "That is a very serious accusation. If you want to call a player a cheater, you need evidence. You cannot insult a player like that just because you are frustrated." MLB did not allow the situation to sit overnight. Officials launched a comprehensive review of the incident within hours of the final out. They pulled multiple slow-motion angles of the home run sequence and analyzed every frame of Ohtani's swing and approach at the plate. Pitch signal data was reviewed. Stadium camera systems were examined across multiple feeds. All electronic communication channels accessible during the game were checked for any indication of irregular activity or outside assistance. The investigation covered every possible avenue through which technological cheating could have occurred. The conclusion was unambiguous. MLB issued an official statement. "There is no evidence that Shohei Ohtani violated league rules. This was a completely legitimate batting play." Craig Stammen received an official warning from the league for making baseless and personally aggressive public remarks toward an opposing player. The accusation had been made in front of thousands. The clearing came with equal clarity. Analyst Jeff Passan addressed the situation directly and without hesitation. When a hitter at Ohtani's level reads a pitch and hits it on the first offering, that is not cheating, that is elite skill. Ohtani himself spoke to the press afterward with the same composure he showed rounding the bases. I have played baseball the same way for many years. I trust my preparation and my ability to read the game. With the controversy settled and the lead secured, the game continued, and Ohtani walked to the mound. The transition from batter's box to pitching rubber within the same inning of a high-stakes series finale is something that requires a complete mental reset. There is no room for residual emotion from a confrontation at home plate. The mechanics of pitching demand a clean slate. Ohtani delivered exactly that. His first assignment on the mound was Fernando Tatis Jr., one of the most dangerous hitters in the National League. After a 6-pitch battle, Ohtani finished the at-bat with an 85 mph sweeper that forced Tatis into a ground ball. The sequence was controlled and efficient. The most demanding matchup of the inning came against Miguel Vargas, who extended the battle to 11 pitches, a full grinding confrontation that tested both players' ability to adjust mid-at-bat. At the decisive moment, Ohtani reached back and delivered an 87.2 mph sweeper that completely deceived Vargas for a strikeout. He then closed the inning by retiring Gavin Sheets with another strikeout. 3 up, 3 down. Perfect first inning on the mound, delivered by the same man who had just hit a leadoff home run and stood his ground in a public confrontation at home plate. Within a single inning, Shohei Ohtani had changed the game from both sides of the diamond, which is precisely why he occupies a category of his own in modern baseball. After Ohtani completed that dominant first inning on the mound, the rest of the Dodgers lineup picked up where he left off offensively. In the top of the first, following Ohtani's home run, Mookie Betts was retired on a fly ball. However, Freddie Freeman kept the pressure alive with a powerful double. Kyle Tucker showed excellent plate discipline, forcing the pitcher through 6 pitches before drawing a walk that put runners on first and second with 1 out. The Padres managed to escape further damage when Andy Pages grounded into a double play, but the Dodgers still carried that 1-0 lead into the next frame. The Dodgers continued applying pressure in the second inning. Max Muncy led off with a double, immediately putting the team in an excellent scoring position. Will Smith followed with a precise single, creating a runners on first and third situation. Teoscar Hernandez then delivered a sacrifice fly deep enough for the runner on third to score comfortably, extending the lead to 2-0. Hye-Seong Kim contributed a single against a difficult sinker to maintain the offensive flow. Ohtani added a sacrifice fly that advanced his teammates into better position on the bases. The Dodgers could not push through for a larger inning despite the opportunities in front of them, but 2 runs backed by Ohtani's command on the mound gave the team a firm grip on the game. Every aspect of Ohtani's performance in this game directly confronted the concerns analysts had raised in the hours before first pitch. The two-way role at the MLB level is not simply about physical fitness. It requires the nervous system to function at elite levels across 2 completely different athletic disciplines within the same few hours. Pitching mechanics and hitting mechanics place opposing demands on timing, balance, and muscle memory. A slight drop in arm strength affects pitch command. A small breakdown in hip rotation affects contact quality at the plate. Ohtani showed none of those breakdowns. He varied his pitch selection on the mound with accuracy and purpose. He made the 11-pitch battle with Vargas look like a calculated exercise in patience rather than a draining endurance test. His 95.5 mph fastball recognition at the plate, the very swing that started all of this, was the product of preparation and elite pitch recognition built over years of professional experience. There is no shortcut to that. There is no technology that replaces it. The MLB investigation confirmed what anyone who watches Ohtani consistently already understood. What Craig Stammen did on that field, regardless of his frustration in the moment, turned Ohtani's 8th home run of the season into something far larger than a single scoring play in a series finale. It became one of the most debated incidents of the current MLB season. It raised questions about the boundaries of in-game conduct, about what coaches are permitted to say directly to opposing players, and about how the league handles public accusations that carry the weight of MLB's sign-stealing history. Ohtani was accused in front of the entire baseball world, investigated by the league's officials, and cleared without qualification. The accusation said everything about the frustration of watching an opponent perform at an unreachable level. The clearance said everything about the player himself, and when every piece of noise surrounding that confrontation finally settled, what remained was the number on the scoreboard, 3 strikeouts recorded on the mound, and a home run hit on the very first pitch of the game because Shohei Ohtani was simply that prepared and simply that good. If you found this breakdown valuable, share this video right now with the biggest baseball fan you know, because this is exactly what Baseball Daily is built for. Real moments, real analysis, no filler. Here's a question worth putting in the comments. Should a coach ever have the right to make a public cheating accusation on the field without presenting evidence first? Drop your answer below. This is the kind of conversation this channel was made for. Every comment, every share, and every new subscriber pushes Baseball Daily forward. If you enjoy real baseball content and breakdowns like this, you'll like what's coming next.